Hello, YouTube. Today I'm going to talk about a rather dark issue, hence the lighting. No, I just my light source is terrible right now. It's right behind me. I'd have to move my camera. It's not like anyone watches this thing anyway. But let me cut to the chase here. So if you read my title, it's how society breeds douchebags. So how does society breed douchebags? That's a good question. Um, what I'd like you guys to pay attention to is that your behaviors, mine, yours, your kids, everyone's, friends, relatives, people you meet, are influenced greatly by the society they're in, the people around them. Like everything from mannerisms to how you act to phrases you use. Literally every part of you, every single utterance you use has been influenced by the society you're in. For example, if you lived in Britain, you would have a British sense of humor, right? You would watch those shows, you'd laugh at their jokes, um, you'd say bugger and bloody hell and various other phrases. Your mannerisms would be completely different. I mean, of course, there'd be some overlap, right? We're both humans, so genetically we'll have some predispositions towards certain behaviors. Males will be more aggressive, females will be selective, etc. Right? We have genetic predispositions, but socially, there's going to be a lot of differences, and it's crazy. I mean, you might think you have your own sense of humor, but actually, you've been largely conditioned to what you should think is funny. I mean, it's baffling to think, but just think of all the different cultures and all their different senses of humor that we have a very hard time tapping into or getting, and we're just like, what was that joke? But really, our perception is very much formed by our society. So hopefully you follow me with that. Um, and then here's the next step I want you guys to realize. When you do a behavior and people around you react in a certain way, it's either going to encourage or discourage that behavior. Okay, so especially in your quote unquote formative years when you're younger, right? So if let's say you don't get very much attention in class, okay? You're in school, you're whatever, fifth grader, whatever it is. You don't get very much attention in class. So, and obviously we need attention, right? Genetically, we seek approval, we seek being a part of a group. This is just built into our genes as a survival tactic, right? We desire it. So, let's say you start doing funny stuff in class, right? And you do something funny, whatever. You hide a teaching book from the teacher, or you say something silly, when the teacher asks, are there any questions? And you're the one who comes up with the most, the obnoxious or, you know, annoying question, right? And your other students laugh, and you finally get that validation, right? You finally have that feedback. Guess what that's going to encourage you to do next time is to make another joke to get that same feedback, right? So right there, they're encouraging you to be a comedian indirectly and perhaps consciously. If you even talk to that student, they don't even realize what's happening, right? They're just naturally gravitating towards the action which got them a feeling of validation. So now you can actually, reflect upon your own life, look at what you do or what you tend to do, like what role do you play in your social group? Are you the comedian? Are you this? Are you that? And you could ask yourself, why do you fulfill that role? And often you're going to find it's because you get positive feedback as you fulfill that role, right? I mean, if you were doing something that just annoyed people all the time, you probably wouldn't do it. Um, that said, I'm not trying to say that that's completely an awful reason to do something, right? You don't want to act upon behaviors to annoy people just for the sake of annoying them, you know. And you don't want to do behaviors that just because other people want you to. So finding some balance between your personal views and values and how you project yourself and what you would like to do is essential. But I'm just trying to tell you the default values and habits that you have, or that you think are your own, are often generated um, by how people interact with you. So how does society breed douchebags? Well, a lot of douchebaggy behavior is actually rewarded uh, in our society. So, for example, let's say let's say you want to be the leader of a group, right? You want to be the alpha male or whatever, right? Um, one behavior which supports being the alpha male is when someone else comes up with an idea, right? You're in a group, right? You're all equals, let's say. Let's say someone else comes up with an idea, but you say something like funny to kind of like twist their uh, words on them, or you try to like belittle them. Like let's say like, hey, let's all go play laser tag. You're like, dude, laser tag sounds lame, man. Like, dude, like we played tag as like fifth graders. Okay, let's freaking do something more fun. Um, and then you proceed to give, maybe an alternative, or maybe you don't even give an alternative, right? You just wait till another idea comes, and you're like, yeah, let's do that, right? So, in doing that, you're kind of training this guy, hey, when he talks, you're going to make fun of him, blah, blah. So it kind of discourages him from talking, right, and promotes yourself in the group. And as you promote yourself in the group, people start listening to you, mostly because they don't want to disagree with you because they're going to get made fun of, right? If they disagree with you, they get made fun of, so they stop disagreeing with you. And, of course, ideally they're having fun, with what you do. These two qualities are going to promote your leadership in the group. A, you have good ideas that everyone's having fun with, and B, when other people have good ideas, often you just, make them feel bad for saying it, whether or not you should or not. You just say it, and consciously in your head, you're not even going to know you're doing this. Like, you're not even going to realize this behavior is something you're doing or why you're doing it, but this behavior has given you a positive feedback, aka it propelled you higher in your social group, and yeah, it allowed you to get what you wanted done. So you wanted to have more fun in the group and do the things you want to do, and this behavior has helped let you do that. And there's a whole series of subtle behaviors. I'm just giving you a specific example. So, like, let's see what I want to say here. Let's just go with that for now. So, essentially, what I'm trying to say is that society has a lot of douchey behaviors in it, and a lot of douchey people, and that's because we kind of breed that almost. Our feedback is kind of encouraging people to be douchey because it's being successful. So, another example, of course, would be that, like with girls, right? If you're trying to pick up a girl or get a girl's attention, guys that are kind of full of themselves or arrogant are also attracted to girls. Why? Because it projects confidence, it projects alpha maleness, it projects being in control, right? So because they get positive feedback from girls when they're more arrogant, then they are inclined to be more arrogant, right? They're socially pressured to be more arrogant because it relates to their success, and eventually becomes part of their personality. And they become arrogant even when it's hurtful to them. They've just been conditioned that this is the pattern they follow, and they don't even consciously know why they follow it. They just do it, Or another. One more example. Here we go. Let's say you and a friend, right? Let's say you're the little alpha male in this group. You go to a basketball game, okay? Not to watch. You're going to play. You're going to a community center, right? And you guys play. You have fun. Whatever. You're a little bit better than your friend. And all that cool stuff, and your friend looks up to you, hence you're always like the little alpha in the group. And one thing you might do, with your friend is off to the side, you might like make jokes about like, let's say there's an awkward looking player. He's shorter than all the rest of them, and he didn't really bring proper gym attire, right? So like it's clear he doesn't come to play basketball often. You might like make fun of him with your friend, like, dude, that guy was so weird, and even though the guy might be completely undeserving, it's like, okay, yeah, maybe he doesn't play basketball, maybe he is coming here randomly, but you're just mocking him for the hell of it, right? And you and your friend laugh about it. Um, so essentially, your kind of douchebaggy behavior, where you put people down to kind of lift yourself up, is that was kind of inbred in you that you found success with. You're just perpetuating that, and because that thing brought you validation, you just start doing it all the time. And so now you put this guy down, which makes your friend laugh, it makes you laugh, and your friend's laughing only because you think it's funny. And so it's again perpetuating your alpha maleness. And your friend doesn't want to do anything stupid because he doesn't want to look bad in front of you, even though you can do whatever the hell you want to do. You can yell, you can rage, you can, I mean, if you're the quote unquote alpha male, whatever, you can be ridiculous, and your friend doesn't do anything. Um, but yeah, and I might do another video where I try to like condense all this. But I said a lot of thoughts I kind of wanted to get out, where I kind of just noticed these patterns of behavior in societies and how, as sad as it is, um, a lot of successful personalities, a lot of successful traits of people with like dominant personalities have a lot of douchey qualities in them. And these douchey qualities are encouraged because they work, and it's kind of sad because it's not really any fault of the quote-unquote alpha male. Like, he doesn't even know he's being conditioned to do these things often. Like, he doesn't even realize that he's just been so encouraged, and he's doing it to his, alleged friends, right, which is sad. And he just doesn't realize it, how he's behaving. And yeah, I just wanted to kind of reflect on the state of society being that way. And I guess I'll end with this: is I don't feel that society has to be that way. I think if we become more cognitive of our behavior, like we're aware of why we're doing something, and we look at our internal value system about like how we want to treat people, and we try to align our personal values with how we behave, that things would get a lot better. And if we start looking at people like, hey, well, that guy's kind of a douchebag for doing that or saying that, and we challenge our friends and challenge others on that, then we could, in fact, discourage them from doing it. And we could at least discourage it from with our own pool of friends. And yes, still some sort of leader / alpha male will emerge. There's going to be one guy that's a little more charismatic, a little guy more fun to be around, a guy with consistently good ideas. But let the guy be the alpha male because of those qualities, not because he's good at putting other people down. So when people do that, it should be our visceral response to look at them as worse. Like, it should diminish their value in our eyes. And if we can be cognitive about that, then we can greatly improve our own social circle and make our friends better people, make ourselves better people. Anyway, I guess that's all. I'm sure I'll have more thoughts later, but this is a thought that's kind of been mulling around in my head for a little while, and I kind of want to just get it out, and maybe I'll refine it later. But have a good day, guys. Peace, YouTube.